fuck England. All of England can burn as far as I care. It is sad. It is sad that a once great country has fallen so far. All right. I said I was gonna switch shit up. So I'm switching shit up. Let me do wait. There we go. Oh, well, that's not what I want to do. This is what I want to do.
Yeah. Stupid ass bitch. This shit too easy, goddamn. Fuck England. And the queen can suck my dick. Fuck England. Fish and chips, teen crumpets in my penis. That's a list of what you eat if you from England. So fuck England.
We'll start off, boys. Fuck England. Who's ready for fuck England? Let's go. Can libertarianism / anarchy only work in a Christian society? No. In fact, I think it was likely to be weaker and less strong and less long-lasting in a Christian society. All right, so we're going to start off with the absurd for fuck England today, boys. This is our reminder. This is our reminder that PWO, give me money if you're going to keep trying to distract the stream. All right, I'm ADHD. I can't handle it. All right, this is our reminder that England is completely fallen, that there is no redeeming England, that England is fucking horrible, that England is a shithole country, and we should treat everybody that comes from England, we should treat them the same or worse as we treat everyone that comes from Haiti. Because we do not want, we should be absolutely xenophobic and bigoted towards all British people until they prove that they are one of the good ones. All right. This is our reminder that we don't want those people coming over here and getting citizenship and voting for the shit that destroyed their shithole country. Fuck England. All of England can burn as far as I care. It is sad. It is sad that a once great country has fallen so far. But at the end of the day, I don't want them getting my money. And I don't want them getting my protection. And I don't want those people coming here unless they can prove without a doubt they should be shunned in every step of the way because of the fact that they are British. If I hear a British accent, I should look at them and I should go, fuck you, you disgusting piece of shit. Don't fucking come to my country. Even the Canadians are not as bad as the British. It's that bad, boys. So let us go. 86-year-old fined $335 for littering after spitting out leaf that blew into his mouth. This is a real story. Goofy ass intro. This certainly leafed him with a bad taste in his mouth. An 86-year-old Englishman was hit with a preposterous fine for littering after 2 enforcement officers saw him spit out a leaf that had blown into his mouth. Roy Marsh had stopped for a rest while walking through a parking lot in the tourist town of Skegness on England's east coast when the wind blew a big reed into his mouth. This is him with his walker taking a little rest. Little reed wind. Time for your littering charge. Unfortunately, he wasn't raping a 14-year-old girl brutally with all of his boys and then getting her addicted to drugs so that she could then go and catch more victims for him and his group of boys to rape when he spit this leaf out of his mouth and it fell into the ground. Because if he'd done that, he wouldn't have got a littering charge, right? He would have, worst case scenario, he would have gotten like 6 months probation and being told that his IQ is too low to be deported back to his other country, and that he didn't know. He didn't know that you couldn't be in a giant grooming gang raping a bunch of little girls. Fuck the Quebecois. I spat it out, and just as I got up to walk away, 2 enforcement officers came up to me, Marsh said. The bewildered octogenarian, which is a weird way of saying 80-year-old, 86-year-old man, said that when officers accused him of spitting on the ground, he responded by calling one of them a silly boy. However, Marsh quickly realized they were not joking, and he was fined 250 euros. It was all unnecessary and out of proportion, he recalled to the BBC. Marsh said that the fine was expected to be reduced to 150 euros after an appeal, but he was still required to pay the full amount. So he got an appeal, and then it was expected to go down to 150 euros after his appeal for his littering charge, after having to pay a solicitor. But even that wasn't enough. No, you better pay the 250 euros. This sounds like something cops in the US would do, but it would get thrown out pretty quickly. Yeah, the cops in America would do some dumb shit like this, and then they wouldn't even show up to court because they would know that it was dumb, and then it would get dismissed. Like, that's how America would handle it. And then, like, if they kept doing that shit, like, the cop would get a stern talking to. You get the story. We gotta get progressively angrier, boys. All right? We're going to step up to the next level of fuck England. The next level of fuck England. Farmer hog-ties trespassers to quad bike and drives them to police station. Neil Greenwood, they changed the article title, by the way. 52, question on suspicion of false imprisonment. I do love that the Telegraph changed those. He was arrested. He was arrested for false imprisonment. A farmer hog-tied 2 trespassers and drove them to his local police station, but was arrested upon arrival for false imprisonment. Neil Greenwood discovered the 2 men on his land and performed a citizen's arrest because he believed they were trespassing. I do love how he says because he believed they were trespassing when they were on his property and they had gone over a no trespassing fence. Okay, so the details are they broke into his property and then he hog-tied them and then drove them to the police station. They had been riding an electric bike across the farmer's field the previous day. They've changed this article. They keep editing this article. And had to leave it on the premises because the gate they had entered through was subsequently locked. This is a claim that they have. They claim that they were riding an e-bike across his property because they went over his fence and then they couldn't escape because the fence had been locked. Is hopping a fence breaking and entering? Apparently not. Apparently you can just drive on anybody's property and then you can just leave your shit there and then you can just come get it another day hoping that the fence won't be locked. When they returned the next day to retrieve the bike, Mr. Greenwood, who was riding his quad bike at the time, tackled them to the floor and bound their hands. Lancashire police were called at around 11:30 a.m. on Sunday by a man who said he had detained 2 males. As officers made their way to the property, they received a second call from the man. They told him that they weren't coming and that he needed to release the men. Then he was like, fuck you, I'm taking him to the police station. As officers made their way to the property, they received a second call from the man saying that he was now at Colne Police Station, Lancashire, with the 2 males he had detained. Mr. Greenwood, 52, placed his suspects on his quad bike and drove them 4 miles to his police station. Photograph shows the 2 hooded individuals unsecured but face down on the front and rear of the stationary vehicle. CCTV footage later captures Greenwood driving his quad along a road with the pair still on top of his all-terrain vehicle. When he arrived at the station, Mr. Greenwood was detained and questioned by officers on suspicion of false imprisonment and assault. Leland Hornby, 17, who was held by the farmer, said he was bound up alongside his 20-year-old friend at the remote farm in Charlton. So it's a remote farm, huh? Weird. So he didn't. It was just way out in the middle of nowhere. He decided to go onto somebody's property. The construction worker told the Sun, my mate had been riding his e-bike across the field the night before. He went to leave, but the farmer had locked the gates, so he left his bike. Again, Now it's not just breaking and entering during the day, it was breaking and entering at night, and then they discovered that the gate was locked, so they came back to get the e-bike. Tried running off, but he chased me down. He tied us up, threw us on the quad bike, and took us to the police. I was scared of what he might do. They were frightened to death. The pair of them nearly fell off. A 52-year-old man from Charlton was later arrested on suspicion of false imprisonment and assault. He has since been released on bail pending further inquiries. So he was arrested, charged and arrested, and is out on bail. They leave that for the very, very, very bottom, right? Right? He's being charged. They're obviously going through with criminal charges as he's been arrested, put in jail, and then got bail and was able to get out to go back to his farm. So in England, if you attempt to stop and capture people who break onto your property, you go to jail. And they get released. Because they can just go, oh, well, I was just there the night before. You know, maybe it was an innocent accident, right? Gate was open. You thought it was some other road. You didn't realize you're on somebody else's property. Then you go to leave and the gate's closed and you're like, oh shit, this was someone's property. Do you know what you do? There's this thing called the yellow pages. And you call the person. Right? Or you go up to the person's residence and you knock on their front door. You don't hop the fence and try and get your shit back that you left the last time you were breaking and entering. Yeah, there's no way they were casing the joint out, trying to see what was going on, trying to see what they could steal. There's no way they weren't just making up a story, since the police didn't question them, didn't separate them, and didn't treat them like potential people that have literally broken the law. So they let them get their story straight together. And then their story is, oh, we were riding our e-bike the night before and then he locked us in. So we had to go get it the next day. And maybe the story's true. All right. Now we get to the angering one. This one's a few days. This is about a month old now. But I don't know if you guys saw it, so I figure, we'll have fun. We'll check this one out. So British police arrest wrong man in air quotes. This is insane. Conservative holds a debate on university campus on deportations. Leftist students attack him. Uni staff help the attacker. Police say conservatives should not have debate. Police then arrest conservative man. We'll go through, we'll just watch the video. But I saw this video and I thought to myself, I was like, if I was a Gen Z white male conservative in the UK, open-ended question, not a call for anything. But I've never seen a video more succinctly, or maybe not succinctly, right? Because it's a 3-minute video, but like more clearly show to that demographic, you cannot vote your way out of this. There is no voting your way out of this. You either need to move or you need to revolt. I'm not saying that they should revolt. I'm saying your only options at this point are to move or revolt. That you can't just continue to exist as a white person in England and expect everything to just be hunky-dory unless other people revolt for you.
Well, they already have come.
Yeah.
We don't like it because they're trying to take our land.
Right. I have the right to conduct a citizens arrest. And he.
All right, so someone comes up to him while he's at a university campus and then flips his table and, comes over and assaults him, right? Technically, I believe it was battery because, he was sitting at the table. It's hard to see.
He's under arrest. I'm detaining him under my breach of police powers. He's not going anywhere. He can sit here until the police arrive. He's sitting here. He's biting me. He's biting me. He's not going anywhere. He's just attacked me. He's under arrest.
Right. So then we have the battery and false imprisonment. How do you get that? So anybody can come, the university. I actually don't necessarily not side with the university staff here because I don't know what they saw. Right. So if they saw the interaction, then they should detain him. Right. They should help him detain the individual. But if they didn't see anything, right, and they just see a person saying he's under arrest, right, then they should come over and say, okay, we'll take him into custody. We're university security or staff, right? We've called the police. The police are on the way. And let's hold both of these people until, we can determine them. You've got your arm around him in a way that might be injuring him. Let's wait until there's a way to get these two people separated until police can investigate the matter. But if you saw that happen, right, then you're right. Then it's battery and false imprisonment of the individual that was, the conservative. But it gets better.
Who are you arresting, bro?
I just get his arm.
Now you have new people come up and throw unidentified liquids into this person's face, and all of the university staff could care less about this new assault and battery because their only concern is stopping the conservative guy. So at that moment, everything changes because it's very clear that they're not there to make sure that this remains peaceful until the police show up. They're there to try and assault the conservative guy now that they have an excuse to do so. The guy that is pro, deportations. I'm not saying I agree with his deportation stance. I'm just saying.
No, this man is under arrest. Oi, you fucking get off him.
No, bro.
Get off him. Get off him. He's just assaulting me. This is the left guys who've currently just been assaulted for having debates with people. We've just been insulted by a number of people. Come over, flip the table, smashing camera equipment. I grabbed.
All right, so the police are here. I understand that it's a pretty blonde lady, boys. Calm down. And I'm sure this pretty blonde lady and all these other people are gonna fix this, right? The cops are here. They're gonna realize that someone came and assaulted this man, assault and battery, and attacked his property. That he had every right to be there. That he had the permits to be there. Okay, and then they're gonna be like, oh my God, we need free speech on campus. We're gonna fix this. This is the fuck England side.
The man who did it, put him under citizen's arrest, asked for the police to be called. University staff have come in, assaulted me, even though I clearly indicated he's under a citizen's arrest. I had him there, I said, call the police, call the police, call the police. So I requested that you lot were called, and the university staff have come in and assaulted me and helped him get away.
Britain needs mass deportations. This is my organisation, very similar to...
That's going to roll people up, isn't it? If you don't want things to kick off, I suggest you don't create a situation.
So we have to live in a society where we can't...
Right, so now the police are letting him know, this is kind of your fault though, right? Because you have the wrong political opinions. If you don't want things like this to happen, right, then, maybe just have the right political opinions and support the state importing, mass, Muslim migration, don't say anything about the grooming gangs or the fact that you have a two-tiered political justice system that lets, Muslim, Pakistani, especially men, just kind of rape your girls and your sisters and your daughters, right? Come on, man. Just be cool with it. Just be cool and have the right political opinions. Oh God, what did he say? The diversity will continue until morale improves. It's really our strength. I'm glad we turned Edinburgh into a PvP server so that people could work on their kung fu like a surprise pop quiz. I love you, Peace Crab. Why are you never just fucking in chat, man? You weird.
They were a leading polling party in the country.
Let me see the footage. This is the man who attacked me. Are you going to arrest him?
Step away. Step away.
Wait. Are you going to...
Step away.
Wait a second. You f***ing ease up. He just went and pushed me really aggressively. You approached someone else. No, don't touch me. Your colleague's just assaulted me. Learn some manners. We've been talking with you nicely.
All right, so now they're having a little chit chat with the guy that they detained, and he's like, "Hey, are you going to arrest that guy?" That's the guy, right? Because they're showing him the footage. Obviously, he's a little worked up. Maybe he shouldn't have approached, that situation. He probably should have talked to that cop that he was talking to earlier, right? But nevertheless, he didn't do anything. He didn't come at him. He didn't showcase that he was going to attack anybody. He was letting that cop know, "Hey, that's the guy that assaulted me that we have on video assaulting me." Then they forcibly shove that guy for getting too close. Then the other cop gets angry that he's filming them as they, commit injustice against him in his speech. And now he's being arrested for filming the police, I guess.
Under arrest, come on. Whoa. How? For what? Help! Get the f*** off me.
Now this part, never do this, guys. Never do this. I'm not saying that you're not in the moral right to fight back against police or resist arrest. Many times you are in the moral right by a certain calculation. But I would say that you are in the moral wrong to do so, in that it is absolutely fucking retarded and it's a great way to get shot and killed, or to have your case thrown out so that nobody actually gets in trouble. Just say that you're doing things under duress and that this is wrong. And if you want to be a little extra cheeky, let them know that you're going to sue the shit out of their department and that they're going to lose their job. But go along with what they're doing. If you're getting arrested, just get arrested. If you're by yourself, unless you're ready to pop off the next civil war and all your fucking militia buddies are right there, the only thing you're going to do by fighting the police is get your ass kicked or get killed. You're not going to help the movement. You're not going to help liberty. You're not going to help yourself. The only thing you're going to do is get fucked. Don't do it. It's just dumb.
I have done no crime. I've been here engaging in a public, peaceful debate, and this is how the police act. This is not acceptable in England. This is meant to be some sort of democracy. We are meant to have free speech in this country.
You could be a martyr, but it is increasingly my belief that the far more likely scenario is that instead of being a martyr for the cause, you will be a martyr for the state. And that if you fight back against the police, they will use it as a justification to gain more power and more control because of these dangerous libertarians. I think statistically speaking, you are more likely not to be a martyr for the cause, but more likely to be a martyr for the state in cracking down and becoming more authoritarian.
And my ancestors went through 2 world wars. For this country, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. You are criminals. You're violent Tuesday criminals. The minute you knew what was on that banner, you decided, let's go for him.
And I think that right there is the thing that hit me looking at this from trying to imagine what it's like to be a young man in Britain today. Is that at the end of this video, the entire campus, all of the college kids, and everyone are cheering and clapping for the police for arresting the victim of a crime and not the criminal or the aggressor or any of the people that assaulted him. That was when I was like, yeah, you can't vote your way out of this. And if I'm like a 20-year-old, kid, because that to me, a 20-year-old is a kid to me, man or woman. I know some of you probably disagree and be like, dude, you 2 years in the army, they're a kid. Yeah. I live near a military installation Not right by one, but like when I go and like do other things, I'm often near one, and I see like fresh recruits in AIT, right? Just got out of basic. Those are children to me. I can already hear your death rattle, Scott. Shut the fuck up. I'm just saying, man. Take a sip of coffee, lubricate my voice. Dude, I had the kids this weekend. There's a lot when you have an autistic nonverbal child, right? There's a lot of like, hey, don't touch that, don't, put that down. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of that. Oh, no, put those scissors down. Put that down right now. Thank you. I love you, buddy. We can't randomly grab a steak knife and run into the other room. I love you. We can't do that. That's dangerous. Okay. I usually don't have a voice on Monday following having my kids for the weekend.
Winger, please shut the right winger. You people disgust me. You are corrupt. You are Sadiq Khan lapdogs. You're a Stafford. You're a Stasi.
Why is the guy that assaulted me not arrested?
What? You think that's fun? Yeah, hurt me some more.
So there you go. I just like there you go. There's fuck England for the night. I saw that and was like, man, this is kind of it, man. Like this is like England's done. It really is. Unless something radical happens in their politics, which is unfortunately more likely to become fascist than it is to anything else. That's not that you're not fixing that. Don't the police in the UK have no guns? So like regular beat cops don't have guns. But the police do have guns. He missed a prime opportunity to do the succulent Chinese dinner scene. Never heard of that. Democracy Manifest is a viral 1991 video. Oh yeah, I think. Oh yeah. I remember this. Sorry, it's just this happened a year after I was born, so it's like, yeah. But like, get your hands off my penis. Yeah, I remember that now. But yeah, I mean, like, this is what I mean. Like, it is imperative that some of these people are going to flee to America, and it is imperative that we treat them worse than we treat Californians when they come into our cities and try and vote the way they vote. It is imperative that we remind them that they came to this country because they have some liberty left here. You know, obviously we are fighting in this country to have more, right? To lessen the impact of our oppression here. But it is really important that we remind them constantly that they better not be a voting bloc for the very thing that birthed what they fled from. Because we see it all the time with Californians where they will come over and immediately demand gun control, higher taxes, more social welfare programs, you know, being nicer to immigrants. And it's like, dude, you left California because it was too expensive for you to live there. And now you're voting for all of this shit that made California what it, like, do you guys not realize that California was Republican in like the 1970s? Do you guys not realize that like the slogan that many political analysts used to have is "So goes California, so goes the country"? Like, we have to treat them like that, but worse. You are lapdogs. You are Sadiq Khan's lapdogs. Yeah, it is very British. I haven't heard a single politician mention how we might pay for this. I thought America had a deficit. Dude, most politicians just view they have no concept of debt. To them you can just print money and it'll work. And it'll actually, the more money you print, the more economic activity we have. The more economic activity we have, the more revenue we get. The more revenue we get, the more like we're perfectly solvent. Like that is how a majority of both Republicans, MAGA, and Democrats, and especially socialist communist types that identify that way. That's how they feel.